What do Sarah Paulson, Busy Phillips, and Katy Perry have in common? They all reportedly share a green secret to avoid heel pain on the red carpet: CBD cream. CBD cannabis products are a hot beauty trend, and stylist to the stars Carla Welch says a little of this cream lets her clients go for hours on the red carpet. But does it really work? We decided to put it to the test.
I like wearing high heels because my feet look better, my legs look better.
Just feel confident when you wear high heels. Heels are magic, heels are awesome. They are often painful.
The downside of wearing heels is just this chronic, nagging, on fire pain.
There have been times I have taken my heels off in the middle of the street because my feet are in so much pain.
I've tried everything, but nothing's gotten rid of the pain.
Not wearing heels for me is not an option.
I personally think flat shoes are for quitters.
I'm willing to try anything if it works.
Our stiletto squad, Ashley, Renee, Monica, and Buffy, are here to reveal if the CBD cream worked for their high heel pain. We're going to start with Ashley. Did the cream work for you?
I loved it. It was really effective, and it didn't smell too weird, and I felt like it was really nice on my feet, and I would totally recommend it.
All right, so Monica?
I didn't like it. It didn't work for me, but I really wanted it to because I love wearing heels, but I was like sliding around and I just wouldn't be able to recommend it to a friend. Sorry.
Buffy?
I loved it. I was floored. I wore my highest heels yesterday, and normally I experience pain about 3-4 hours in, and my 5.5-inch heels, I wore them for about 8 hours yesterday.
Wow.
And I like the smell, so I would recommend it.
All right, we got so far 2-4. Renee?
It kind of worked. I was feeling it doing something for sure. There was definitely something happening. I would say the grease factor of the product was a little bit of a turnoff for me.
Okay, so some positive responses, some not so positive responses. Ladies, we actually have a twist on this. Only 2 of you used actual CBD cream. The other 2 used a placebo. And this is part of our new put it to the test here, where a true placebo versus actual products. So Ashley, you had a great experience with the cream, which was a placebo.
We know there's a real effect there.
Monica, didn't really like it, right?
No, I wanted to though.
So you actually had the CBD cream.
Science at work.
Yeah.
Buffy?
Yes.
You liked it.
I did.
You wore those 5.5-inch heels. You loved it. You had the CBD cream. And Renee, by process of elimination, as you now know, you had the placebo cream.
Thanks, guys.
And it didn't work.
And it didn't work. So.
Well, and I do think it highlights, when it comes to these kinds of creams, if you will, there's obviously going to be a psychological component and potentially a medical component. And in fairness, placebo here, there's a benefit to massage.
I totally wanted it
You wanted to get in those heels and last.
I was so convinced.
See, so that's
But you were still using, the thing is though, you also were still using self-massage and using a cream, so don't minimize the element of that.
Yeah, well, so interestingly, even if you do have high heel pain, there are some tips we can give you whether or not you choose to use a lotion. One is these slip grip pads that you can buy. They're inexpensive, and you actually put them on the bottom of your shoe. And one of the reasons we all have pain when we're wearing those high heels is because if the shoe is sort of slipping, you're trying to put a lot of pressure to stabilize it, this will help minimize that. And then another thing that actually came as a surprise to me, interestingly, is that our foot size actually changes. And so many women after pregnancy, for example, or with weight changes, will actually have a true change in their shoe size. And when you wear ill-fitting shoes, you're much more likely to have pain. Like my foot size, for example, went up an entire half size after my first pregnancy. And I was trying to squeeze into all those cute beautiful shoes. And they didn't fit anymore. I had to get a whole new set of shoes.
So did that just hold? You're just a half size bigger now than you were before?
I just did entirely complete sea change. And it was just strictly after pregnancy. And I think if you don't know that's the case and you're trying to squeeze into that shoe, it's going to hurt that much more.